Girls of Reddit, what are the subtle hints that you are dropping guys that they don't pick up at all? Arm touching. Wet twirling. Staring at their mouth. Saying we have no plans on a Saturday night. I just thought everyone liked to tell me about their lack of plans for the weekend. After reading quite a few posts comments about men sucking at reading hints, I boosted my ego by saying I suck at them too. Only to realize I never received any of those subtle signs. Edit. My first Reddit gold, thanks fellow stranger. I'm in this photo and don't like it. Are you doing anything later? I've learned that the only right answer to this is you. But I'm German. And in German that answer doesn't really make sense because we don't do. We make. As a guy, I was once told that I was their favorite guy in the world. And that they wished they could clone me so there would be more people like me. Got rejected though. The I wish I dated people like you. But not you. As a guy I speak for us all when I say, I thought you were just being nice. Edit. Rip my inbox and feel for you bros, we all know today dating climate, but here's a tip for girls. I've never been one for subtle hints. I've always been okay with striking up conversation with the guy. And I've never had a problem asking a dude out on a date if I wanted to. I'm single. Shock. I remember my older brother had a girlfriend who was big into subtle hints and cryptic shit. He lost it at one point and yelled at her, subtle hints don't work. Obvious hints don't work. Just say it. I used to hang out with this guy I liked every single night. We'd talk, laugh, joke and just have fun, usually until 4 AM. I would fall asleep on his bed, cuddle while watching TV, and lean closer every time we were face to face. This went on for months before he finally took the hint and he's now my so. But when I asked him about how he didn't notice I had a thing for him, he apparently genuinely thought that all girls act like that towards their platonic friends, so he wasn't sure if I actually liked him. Hugging, touching, compliments, messages, massages, deep conversations, bugging him as to why we never do stuff just the two of us, literally mentioning how he would make a perfect boyfriend. When none of that worked, I went for the kill. Me. I love you and I really want to go out with you sometime. Him. AWW, I love you too. You're my best friend. Let's go bowling next weekend. I'll invite the gang. Me. I don't think he was the one who didn't take the hint. I'm about as subtle as a bull in a china shop. I have always joked with my husband I am more masculine in my communication than him because I don't play mind games. I mean what I say and I say what I mean. Usually there isn't any confusion. But when we had just started dating, I was at my husband's apartment when we were getting going for one of the first times. I made the comment, "Oh, you have chest hair." I even ran my fingers through it. I liked it. He thought it was a hint to shave his chest. The next day he was changing to go out. And I saw his chest was covered in red angry bumps and asked what happened. He mentioned the comment about his chest hair. How he got the hint. And shaved it that morning. I looked horrified and said I wasn't hint for him to shave. I told him that because I grew up in Europe. I appreciate a more natural body aesthetic and liked the hair on his chest. I thought it was super SI. He has never shaved his chest since that day over 13 years ago. I need to get out of this thread before I lose all of my karma telling people they're not at all flirting or making it remotely obvious that they're interested in the other person. LMAO. He'd been flirting with me for a while. The interest seemed real. So I tried to move the flirting from texting to going out. He was a bit slow on the uptake. It went something like this. Him. Tells me how much fun he had doing X. Me. That sounds like fun. Him. Tells me all about it. Me. I'll have to try it. Him. Yeah. You'll love it. Me. So. Are you planning on going back? Him. Yeah. Definitely. Me. Anytime soon? Him. No plans yet. but definitely worth it to go back again. Me. Well, I'm going to take you up on your suggestion and give it a try this Saturday. Him. Awesome. You'll love it. Me. You're welcome to join me. If you like. Him. Oh wow. Yeah. Cool. Thanks. Me to self. That might have been more work than it was worth. Me to self afterward. It was worth it. Straight up asking them if they are down to smash. I like to trash talk. But I'm kind of past my glory days, so I never know if I'll come out on top. But I still like to have a good time. Brawl was my best game. Haven't gotten to play the new Switch version much. I like to play a bunch of different characters. Beta Knight. Ness. Wario. Dark Pit to name a few. I'd really like to get good with King K. Rool. They has us in the first half. Generally asking questions and trying to generate more of a conversation. Compliments on appearance. You mean to say you're not just trying to be nice and polite? Huh. I actually made it 2 whole weeks without seeing this topic on a Reddit. Well, here we go again. Women's hints are not universal. One woman's hints are not the same as another woman's hints. One woman's flirting is another woman's just being friendly. For every woman complaining about a guy missing the obvious hint, there's another woman complaining about how her friendliness is always mistaken for flirting. Unless you are literally getting naked or touching his penis. I guarantee that whatever your hint is, it has been done by another woman who wasn't interested in him. Girls half the time. My hints were so obvious. 1. Girls other half of the time. Twirls hair. Touch his thigh. Opposite problem. Guys think everything I do is me coming onto them. Edit. I mean, I guess we can hook up. If you insist. She could just be Canadian and she's being nice. I'm pretty reserved when it comes to being expressive for the most part, but I def have subtle hints when I really like a dude. Look them in the face. Like really. Eyes glazing over every feature. Soaking them in visually. Break touch barrier. I.e. light taps on arm or knee if sitting. When conversing. Joking. Rest touch my chin when I listen to them talk. Means I'm interested and thinking about what they are saying. What are your plans? How's your upcoming week looking? I've never looked at a girl who was touching her chin and thought yeah. Asking questions about showing interest in a hobby that we definitely don't share. Like, if I'm asking you a million questions about your years of playing Skyrim. Prefaced with I don't know much about video games. Comma. It's because I want to talk to you, spend time with you. Not because I'm interested in gameplay or am considering taking it up. Hint culture is a disaster. I don't drop hints. Hints are designed to have plausible deniability when you're rejected and to create ambiguity so you can save face in such a situation. Communication works better when it's as clear as possible. Though to be fair, I rarely communicate anything on this subject matter. When I'm interested, I squint 3 degrees more than usual and make eye contact for 12 milliseconds longer than I normally would. You guys are so daft it's frustrating you don't notice. Compliments. FCK, I literally showered this boy in compliments and he just said lol thanks every time. It's probably just that he doesn't like me, but to be fair, I wasn't even the one who started the convo, so I don't get it. Guys don't get many compliments, so we don't know how to process it. Usually we think you're just joking, teasing. Sometimes guys act oblivious to signals when they're just not interested. It's easier to play dumb than to outright reject someone. Pretty much everything that I picked up from reading all the Angus Thongs and Perfect Snogging books. It's the 21st century. For FCK's sake. If you're interested in us, just tell us. I'm a guy. And I taking F-king notes. This creepy guy with a mustache kept stalking me and he was relentless. I hid and had a friend of mine tell him repeatedly that I was in another castle. I thought that if he heard it enough times he'd give up on chasing me and doing other creepy things like jumping on turtles and chestnuts. Unfortunately, he didn't get the hint and he eventually found me. Girl here. I think the major one is her asking questions about you. Her showing genuine interest in you and who you are. That coupled with eye contact and smiles. That is how you will know. I personally don't really do physical contact because not everyone wants to be touched and the guy might not like me. Rather keep the rejection to a minimum. Yeah, no? Another is her lingering after a conversation is done. Just silence and her looking at you. Also, I've noticed that if the guy ends the date early and she stutters an okay and or looks disappointed, she most likely likes you and wants to spend more time with you. Thread is full of girls who do not understand that it's not that we are stupid or ignorant of your hints. It's just that it can be dangerous for a guy to misinterpret a hint. Best case scenario. We get shot down. Again. For the 40th time. Worst case scenario. And yes, this is real. We end up in jail. It can happen. You may not believe it. But women don't understand. Dating is not the same for guys as it is for y'all. It can be damaging for us as well. Never leaving my room. Playfully smacking them on the arm, chest, shoulder when they tell a joke. Laughing at everything even when it's not funny. Guy. If, on an off chance, I do read a subtle hint, I will dismiss it as coincidence. It is dangerous to assume a girl likes you without concrete evidence, and subtle hints are too wishy-washy to be considered such. Girls, don't use subtle hints. They will be ignored. They will not be read as flirting, or if they are, they will be dismissed as false information. Tell us what you want, need, and we will endeavor to achieve those things for you, but to insinuate that maybe something could be will net you nothing. Hard statements will get the job done every time. I'm a dude and can already tell you. The answer is all of them. It seems like guys missing hints is a really common thing. At least according to Reddit. Am I the only one that can tell when a girl likes me almost immediately? Like after the first hint? I feel like this problem is being exaggerated a bit. I think it's just that some people don't get hints, so they think they just don't notice them. Bitch, just tell him you like him or wanna FCK him, it ain't rocket science. Ladies, just grab us by the crotch. Look us in the eye and say, this belongs to me now. If I move away from you and give you short answers, I'm not trying to speak. Leave it alone and be respectful. Consistently making eye contact is big for me. If I keep looking at you, you should probably approach me. No one is gonna notice if you keep looking at them. Except when they keep looking at you. Why don't you make the move then? These threads always end up being a bunch of guys complaining about not getting compliments and misjudging woman signals. Well, it's clearly a source of frustration for a lot of dudes who find navigating the dating world hard enough to begin with.